Okay, so the last bit of this chapter talks about self-help, popular culture, and the ideal self. So the person that we want to be, or the identity that we want to have. Um, so it just says here that self-help books are typically about self-actualization. I don't know if you remember Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which you should do. So it's fulfilling your full potential. And so this whole story about who you are as a person has to have direction to a particular goal, which of course you have to be selected. So that's why very early on we always say, oh, okay, what do you want to be when you're older, and how you're going to get there, and what do you want to do with this, and what is your decision about your hair color and all that kind of thing. So if we don't have goals, essentially, we feel lost. So these self-help books are there to help you overcome obstacles and achieve fulfillment. And what I want you to do with this exercise here is think about different types of media texts and how they act as self-help books. And that ties into this idea of the story structures, okay? So the repeated stories that are used in media texts across the board, whether that's advertising, film, music. Think about the lyrics of songs where it's all about the story of, either the struggling artist or the struggling couple or the lonely person or whatever. There's always a story. So just read through this, but key point here that I want you to pick up on and really think about is how a lot of these media texts act as a handbook for life, and they're an instruction manual in the art of being human. So any media text that you engage with, I want you to think about the story that's being presented there and what kind of journey has been undertaken by the key characters, and how that can impact on your ability to create your own self-identity. What are your tools that you're using, your media text, what are your tools that you're using to create that identity, whether it's a particular brand of makeup or brand of clothing, or being influenced by books that you've read as a child. What if someone put everything in a box, what would they find? What were your tools that you used, your self-help manual to become the person that you are today? And it just summarizes it there. So think about role models, think about those media like magazines, TV shows, etc. This note, I just want you to ignore this, okay? Just ignore this bit, so you can skip through down to the end to the summary, okay? So really, it's all about that these identities are diverse and malleable, which means that they can change. All right, so nothing is fixed. We're changing every day. We're developing every day. There are more identities that we can perform. You can be a drag queen if you're a girl. You can be transgender. You can be tomboy, girly girl. Do you know what I mean? There's so many things to pick from. And the mass media suggests, these lifestyles. It presents these lifestyles in all different forms for you to choose from and construct your identity. Think about some of the terms that we use as well for different identities: geek, preppy girl, all those kind of things that are used. And then go a bit deeper than that. So if I say that I'm a geek, what does that mean that I do, or I like, or I say, or I wear? And it all boils down to our relationship with ourselves and how we're affected by those media products, in terms of creating our own identity.